Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to Blue Collar Money Manager. So today's video is about the 3 worst financial mistakes that I have made as a 35-year-old millennial. It may look like I have my finances in order today, finally debt-free, steady income, etc., but it hasn't always been like that. I've made so many mistakes with money the past 15 years or so. One of the things that I believe is that you should learn from other people's mistakes. You should talk about money with other people, find out what has worked for them over their lives, what didn't work for them concerning money, implement those changes to your life so you won't make the same dumb decisions as they have. So I really want to talk about my mistakes today, with the first one being in 2022, I bought a $72,000 brand new truck. So looking back, it was early 2022. The stock market was beginning to fall. Inflation was starting to actually affect people's household finances. And here I am deciding to buy a $72,000 diesel truck. It's a very smart move looking back. So this was pretty much an impulse buy, if you will. And it's really one of the dumbest things I've ever done. Looking back, the truck really didn't change my life, but the payment did. And we all know vehicles appreciate easily 10% when you drive them off the lot. And then 2-3 years down the road, you're looking at 25% depreciation. But it's more about not how the depreciation affects you right then when you buy the vehicle. It's how much that financial hit affects your future net worth than your current. So you see, I financed all $72,000 of that truck over 84 months or 7 whole years. I think my note was like $1,050 per month. So before the truck, I drove a 2007 Nissan 350Z, pretty sweet car. It's paid off, very dependable car. I had it for like 3 or 4 years before. Started up every time, great car. But there was a couple reasons why I felt like I needed a brand new vehicle, right? At the time, I was working a lot of overtime, a lot of night shifts, shift work. Been saving money for a few years. I was in a good spot with equity on my house, etc. And I kind of got in that mindset thinking I deserved a new truck. I mean, how it's better to treat yourself than to pay $1,000 a month for 7 years. It's brilliant. So it was, I deserved the truck, obviously. That's one reason. Another reason, I just had FOMO, fear of missing out. So if you remember COVID times, the vehicle market, both new and used, went absolutely berserk. I had co-workers that had 50,000 miles on their diesel trucks, and they ended up selling them for more than they paid for them. Smart move back then. It's a pretty crazy time. I just got caught up in the inflation hype. I had convinced myself that this is the cheapest this truck will ever be. In fact, 2 years from now, it'll probably be a $100,000 truck. That's what I thought anyway. And obviously that wasn't the case. So I ended up paying $72,000 for this truck in August of 2022. Currently, I just checked on Carvana. I can get like $50,000 for the truck. The truck has 40,000 miles on it, but yet in just 3 years, it has depreciated $22,000. Really more than that if you factor in interest. So the real cost wasn't the $72,000. It was what that $1,000 a month could do for me in 10 to 20 years from now. Thankfully, the truck is paid off, but I still pay that note for like 3 years. So I still missed out on at least $22,000, probably more toward $30,000, all said and done. So another financial mistake that I want to talk about today is that I did not start investing early and often enough. So this is a very common financial mistake. We all know how compound interest works. I'm not going to go into that. But when it comes to investing, buying and holding good index funds, mutual funds, is really hard to beat. It's very simple. But up until I was around 27, I didn't take investing seriously. Back then, I would trade random stocks here and there, but never consistently invested until around 9 years ago when I got this current job I have. And this is so easy to do due to the high cost of living. And let's face it, it takes so much discipline to be good at saving and investing. And the thing is, during this time in my life where I wasn't saving, I was actually working in finance. I was preaching saving consistently to people, to customers, investing in good mutual funds, etc., but I didn't take my own advice. And although I haven't calculated just how much this lack of discipline has cost me these 5 years or so of my working years without saving, I'm sure it's probably $100,000. Let's face it. And although it seems that a few $100s a month will never add up to anything, the best time to invest was yesterday. The second best time is now. And I just remember, thinking back then, my $50 contribution out of my small paycheck didn't matter anyway, so why even put it into the account, right? So let's move into the third worst financial mistake that I've ever made. So looking back, I was a high school kid that cringed on the thought of working and being normal when I got older. I didn't want the 9 to 5. I didn't want to be the lame accountant driving to a job he hates every day. I wasn't dumb, but I certainly didn't try too hard in school. And I didn't really have good guidance on what career path to take, which is my own fault, obviously. But with that being said, my third worst financial mistake so far in life is not having a defined goal for my career or how I was going to make money. Looking back, I should have asked myself at 20 years old what I wanted from life. Did I want to work until I'm 65? Did I just want an easy job that lived paycheck to paycheck? Was I passionate about a certain industry or career field? And the big one, how much money did I want to make? I had no idea you could save and retire at age 40. No idea. I thought you just worked until you were 65 and got on Social Security. I should have asked more questions, obviously. But instead of asking myself these questions and planning what I did for a living around those answers, I just kind of went with the flow. I went to college to kind of please my parents. I had a small scholarship, nothing too crazy. But I just thought college was the responsible thing to do. Turns out I didn't even need to go to college for what I do now. And I also thought that we were meant to work a miserable job and have bills until we were like 80. And that's certainly not the truth. And now that I'm in my mid-30s, I realize you shouldn't listen to the people around you on your career, or you'll end up just like everyone else, which is mostly living paycheck to paycheck, driving to a job they hate every Monday morning, and basically miserable. And I said all that to say this: if I would have stopped asking people's opinions about what I wanted to do in life, and those people weren't rich or even happy, I feel as though I would have been in a much better position financially than I am now. And I'm not bad off, don't get me wrong. But really, it's not about the money. If I worked every day in the field that I'm passionate about, I wouldn't mind working until I basically died of old age. I mean, if you enjoy fishing and your job is fishing, do you ever really want to retire? And that's a pretty good spot to be in if you're able to reach that. I know a lot of people say this is unachievable, but the older I get, the more I realize if you really want something, you'll find a way to get there. So the earlier you decide what you want, the cheaper it is to get there. I ended up going to school for 5 years. It costs my parents a lot of money probably, and I wasted a lot of time that I could have been working and investing. So really, start early planning, encourage your kids or whoever to consider, what do they want from life? Do they want to make a really good living? Do they just want to work an easy job and live paycheck to paycheck? Or are they trying to avoid stress, work as little as possible, etc.? These are things that people should be asking, 17, 18, 19-year-olds before they go off to college and get into debt, student loan debt, and just go down a path that they're really not passionate about. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed hearing my 3 worst financial mistakes in life so far. No one is perfect. And just because you may be struggling now because of a bad decision in the past, it won't always be like that. If you're willing to work hard, you'll get through it. And if you're watching this and you're in your 20s or early 30s, what mistake are you making right now that's going to affect your life 10 or 20 years down the road? Are you saving consistently enough? Are you trying to better yourself, make your resume better? Are you wasting a bunch of money? Are you overspending student loans that you're not, passionate about? What are you doing today that's going to affect your life 20 years from now? Anyway, I appreciate you watching the video, and I'll see you next week.